What's the challenge that you can set yourself for this next week and this next month? How many people are you going to commit to speaking with and contacting and being in front of every single day? As Christian business owners, we're called to serve, to sow seeds diligently, and to follow up with love. Today, I'm going to show you how making more offers, loving in your follow-up process more, is actually a biblical principle for growth and impact, where you get rewarded simply in the way that the servant got rewarded in Matthew in the parable of talents, where the servants who grew the talents of gold got more. In Proverbs, we talk about the lazy hands making for poverty, yet the diligent hands bringing wealth. Diligence really is about getting out there and ensuring that more people know your business exists. More people know you exist. More people learn to like and learn to trust you. And about you making more offers and doing more quotes and more calls than possibly you ever have done in the past. Why? Because that allows us to steward our business faithfully. You know, in Ecclesiastes, we talk about sowing your seed in the morning and at evening letting your hands not be idle. And each and every offer and quote is simply a seed that we can reap when we sow. We do have to, however, become realistic. We have to take desperation off the table because so many of us make so few quotes and follow up with so little love and so much little consistency that we end up not getting the rewards that we're looking for. The reality is that not every customer is going to do business with us. In some industries, 1 in 3. In other industries, 1 in 10. Some industries, 1 in 100. And other industries, 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 10,000. Now, I know we all want to be in the 1 in 3 industry, where we go out there and we meet 3 people and 1 person does business with us. But if you're in that industry, you'll already know that you are, and you'll already be achieving those metrics. And so what is the challenge for you in your business? It's simply that you're not sowing enough seeds. You're not meeting enough people, making enough offers. You say, well, who do I go and make those offers to? How do I make them? How do I do it without being salesy? Well, the starting point is, how do you get known by more people? Now, there's many ways of getting known. I mean, if you wish to cycle on a unicycle down the high street of your local town naked whilst juggling, you definitely will get known. But you can get known by people introducing you. You can get known by social media. You can get known by starring on TV. There is a million and one different ways of getting known. But when you're known, it's easier to start conversations with people. When you start conversations with people and do it with love, you actually don't have to sell. You need to ask. How are you? What's going on in your world? What's happening? What are you struggling with? How can I help you? How can I serve you? And then listen for the cues of people who could be a good customer for you or could equally introduce you to a good customer. So some things that I'd encourage you to do is to set some daily goals for yourself. How many times per day are you going to call a lead? How many times today are you going to follow up? How many times in a day are you going to do another quote? You see, your business is a simple series of metrics. So you know currently what you're getting out from your business. Well, if you're currently doing 20 of something a day and you're getting an outcome that you've currently got, but you don't like it because it's not enough, well, what happens when you do 40 or 60 with passion? And what is there that's in your way from doing that? Well, you might say there's time. But I don't believe that to be the case because we've all got more time when we choose not to waste it and prioritize what's important. Maybe it's that our offers aren't good enough. Maybe they're dull, unengaging, boring, or maybe we're trying to sell people something they need, but 86% of all spend by a person is what they want. So maybe we need to rebox and repackage our offer. We need to follow up with love and follow up consistently. Some people will take 12 to 18 times to be followed up with before they purchase from you. How many times are you following up at the moment? 1, 2, 5, 10, and how are you tracking it? In the knowledge that there's people there who want to do business with you, they just keep forgetting and it falls off their to-do list and forgetting and it falls off their to-do list and forgetting again. And they need to make contact with you that 12 to 18 times after you've quoted before it is that they do business with you. How do we follow up? Well, we need to follow up in a way where we ask questions. I just wanted to see if you had any questions with regards to the quote or proposal. How can I help you in the decision-making process? How are you? What's going on in your world? In Philippians 2:4, let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others springs to mind. Excuse me for stumbling over that word. Always struggle with that one. So how are we in this follow-up process actually looking after the interests of others? Sometimes, but not always, we have to encourage people across the line to make a purchase. I have a client who specializes in weight loss, and he often has to give people a nudge over the line to buy because their health is in jeopardy if they don't start losing weight quickly and easily now. And so I want to ask you, what's the challenge that you can set yourself for this next week and this next month? How many people are you going to commit to speaking with and contacting and being in front of every single day? Write those numbers down for yourself. Share those numbers widely with people who will hold you accountable for them and will support you to do that. And then out of all of those people that you contact and speak to, how many of those people are you going to do a proposal or a quote for? How many times are you going to follow up? How many times are you going to demonstrate love? How many times are you going to adapt the proposal and quote? And what are you going to push for in terms of getting your sale ratio to where you want it to be? You see, if we track everything, we can measure it. And if we measure it, we know what to do more of or what to fix. And maybe the core behind all of this is agreeing with ourselves that we're actually going to go and start tracking what we pray for, when we pray for, and how often we pray. Because if you want God's hand in this, your ongoing dialogue with him is of critical importance. If you leave him at home, in the car, or outside of the office, he's not much use to you. But how about if you bring him into the office? How about if you have this ongoing dialogue with him? I went out today and Peter and I went and got a coffee. She said, please, Lord, let there be a parking spot. After we got around the square, the block, once, and there was no spot. So we go around the square the second time, and there's the parking spot by the coffee shop. It's about bringing him into the conversation, having the conversation with him when most others won't. That's the difference. And so let's make our mission every week to get out there and show ourselves and our businesses as the first Bible that people often read. Let's make it our mission to do that as much as possible every week. If nothing else, simply loving other human beings is you following what Jesus commanded. Love God, love others as thyself. So your worst case scenario in contacting all these human beings and supporting them is you do what Jesus told you to do. Your best case scenario, maybe you could join one of our clients who 4, 10, 14, or even 20x's their business within 12 months.